Hello everyone, this is Karim Fahmy. I'm an Azure Solution Architect. I'm back again, so continuing the previous series that I started with Azure Resource Groups, talking about the Azure architecting, a step-by-step guide for anyone who wants to know about it. So I'm taking again, if anyone is watching me, so we are starting from the beginning, taking you step by step until you become an Azure architect, but it will take some time and some efforts. Okay, so you have to be patient with me. Okay, thank you. So last time we talked about the Azure source groups, and this time, as I said, in order to start working with Azure infrastructure, the first thing is to do or to build your networks. So today we're going to talk about the virtual networks. So let's go and see what we have. So in order to build your virtual networks, so it's all here software-defined networks. What's meant by software-defined networks? It means that everything is virtualized here. You don't have real switches, you don't have anything, but in reality, you have a lot of stuff in background in Microsoft data centers, but it's all virtualized. Okay, so it's more advanced equipment. Okay, so here, last time we created the Karim RG01 resource group in our previous demo, and we're going to continue on this. So in order to create your virtual network, you have two ways. Otherwise, to open your resource group here and add the new resource, like typing virtual network. So you're gonna find it here, or open here Virtual Networks Blade and start creating it. Anyways, both are right, but maybe this more faster if you are in a hurry and you are um, getting used with Azure. So just press here and add a new virtual network. So gonna name it here VNet01 as a start. Okay, here's the address space. For sure, all the network admins know what is the address space. Okay, the address space is the range of your IPs that you're gonna use. And take care, you have to read the Azure documentation because there are some constraints and limitation when you are creating it. So one of the things that do not do the address space with a multiple virtual networks with the same address space. If you are going to integrate between them or do within peering, so one of the constraints is not to overlap the address spaces. We will talk about this later, but just take care. And also in the documentation, you're going to find some limitation that is being mentioned there, like do not use specific address spaces because it's reserved by Azure themselves. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's continue here. So choosing your subscription, I'm gonna choose my subscription that is have my resource group created. So create a new resource group if you don't have, or use existing. So yeah, I will use my existing one, Karim RG01. Location, yeah, I'll keep it as is because my resource grouping, as I said earlier, you can choose a different, but I prefer to make it in the same resource group. The location. Here's the subnet part. Subnet part, you cannot create any virtual network without a subnet, so it forces you to create a default subnet. Here you can change the name, whatever you want, but it's mandatory to create it. So in order not to take a lot of from the addresses here, so you can whatever change the prefix maybe to 28 or whatever to make it at least one, and this is the default subnet. Then you can divide the subnets later. For sure, the network guys understand this part, so you can choose it like 26 and whatever, 28, whatever you like. So you can notice here that the addresses, these are the number of the IP addresses. So when you are planning for your Azure, how much IPs you want. This is very, very, very important. You have to concentrate in this part, and this is very critical to do the IP address planning before your design, okay? And know how much IPs you need, okay? So I will leave it like, okay, 16. This is the demo only because, yeah, in reality, I won't do this. We will talk about later. Okay. So we put here the address range, okay, DDoS protection. We have basic and standard. So basic, for sure, all people, the security guys know what is DDoS protection. And here's the description for DDoS protection. It's kind of a security that prevents attacks on services. Um, so here is the basic feature, and here's the standards. And standard feature need to be plan to be created. So we're gonna talk about later, not now. And final thing is service endpoint. I talked about it in another video for the Azure new features. So you can enable it here and choose the services that you want to protect. So it's protecting the services like storage, SQL service, bus key, vault, whatever here. You can select all, whatever, I won't use it. Okay, and then create. So now it's creating my, okay, it's being created here. Waiting. So it was doing a validation, okay, and now deployment in process. Okay, till it's finished, so I think it's done. Let me check. Refresh. Wow, it's so fast. Okay, VNet here. So it's already created, deployment succeeded. So you can open it from both ways. You can find your virtual network from the virtual network blade, VNet1 that I created, or you can open it from the resource groups. So open resource groups, Karim RG01, where it is our container that have the resources. So first resource we have created now is the network resource. So the next resource that is gonna be, as I said, and it's gonna be the enjoyable part, everybody's waiting this, is the computing part, okay? So next episode that gonna talk about the virtual machine and then assigning an IP to the virtual machine from this address space that we created, and then later we gonna do advanced scenarios, but now we are taking you step by step. So the first thing is that we started with the resource group, which is the container, and then I started to do the networks, and then we're gonna start to do the computing, and then we will gonna later see the about storage and transfers and stuff like this. Okay, so for today we are done. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next series that is gonna be the next episode that is gonna talk about the compute. And also I hope you are watching the other series, the parallel series that is talking about the new features, because each week I will introduce a new feature from the features of Azure, because Microsoft is always updating and upgrading the Azure. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned. Have a nice day. Goodbye.